build brand identity, yes, but more importantly, I create digital collateral to communicate effective, tangible messaging. Brands are about building communities. That's just where we are.
What's up? It's Mia with One Purpose Magazine Digital News Show. The time is here. It's 8 p.m. Thursday night, and I am here to deliver you a special show, what's special to me at least. So, first, I'm going to talk about some entertainment news versus gossip. It is my take on what I think the direction of entertainment news should go in and what young journalists should be pursuing when it comes to entertainment news. So my platform is me being free. I inform, educate, break down, unpack a lot of the issues and disparities that happen in communities that matter to me. And so one thing that I really think impacts our community, our culture, the Black community is a lot of the celebrity news that we are fed constantly. So I had mentioned last week celebrity news gossip type of thing, and it really isn't my stuff to cover. It's not what I do. But when I was an undergrad at Columbia College Chicago, shout out to Columbia College Chicago, I took a class, and the class really taught me what entertainment news was. I despised entertainment news. I despised it because I just didn't like talking about celebrity and gossip all the time. I just didn't think that it was fruitful. I didn't think that it was any substance there. Like, what's the point? But then I went into this entertainment news class, and I had a wonderful professor. I believe his name was Alan, but Alan, he did pass away by the end of the semester. That I was able to get a lot of the knowledge that he was able to pass down to young reporters, young journalists at the time to cover entertainment news. And so I'm going to lead up somewhere. So let me just get there. Give me a second. So I was in this class learning about entertainment news and how you report. So I learned that reporting on theater news, doing being a film critic, um, covering comedy in comic clubs that were kind of untalked about, not talked about as much as like especially the celebrity news. Now comics, if they did something crazy and if they were mainstream comics, then they talked about them. But I learned in this class that there are actually entertainment reporters who go out to comedy clubs and report for the local newspapers on the comics that do the late night shows in comedy clubs. And I thought that was so cool. And so that's when I had gained an interest in comedy. I took my first L ride to a club called Zanies in this particular class. And I covered, the class covered a comic that was well known for the Police Academy movie. I can't remember his name. I'll throw it in there at some point when I edit the clip. But we were able to cover that, write about it, and get an idea of what entertainment news really is. So, entertainment news really is supposed to unfold and uncover the nuances that happens in entertainment, not just gossip, not just celebrity gossip, right? When it comes to entertainment news, what we have to do is begin to tell our stories, begin to tell what we contribute to the society, to this American society through art, and begin to start seeing celebrities as not someone that is on a hierarchy of livelihood, but people who showcase art. I don't feel like it should be that deep. I don't feel like it should be something that we that we have to make complicated. These are people who society has given the authority to think, or to society has made them kind of elevated, or they have elevated them through gossip news, through what we call entertainment news or celebrity news. And I just think that it's time for us to start changing that around and highlighting the art, highlighting the people that are behind the production of things, and behind ownership of comedy clubs, and the people that make it happen. I think that their stories are valuable. Their stories should be told. And I think that it'll open a lot of doors for real storytellers, journalists, people in the industry who really love the craft, who really love putting the facts out there, getting the story, getting the quotes, getting the people involved, and telling individuals, telling the audience information that really enhances their understanding and not just like fill their mind with garbage. I said it. Fill their mind with trash. Yes, I said it. I said it. I said it. I said it. And I'll say it again. I think that we need to stop as a community. I think that we empower people in power to do what they do and to feed us nonsense. And I have always been one who opposed that. I have always been one who did not want to um, get involved in the nuances of celebrity gossip news, and I felt like I had to come back and say this and kind of clean up my my plane with the celebrity news last week. And I think it's okay to have a little bit of fun, but I do believe that our community, our listeners, our viewers, people who have an interest in gaining knowledge through news platforms now, through the benefit of digital news platforms, where people like myself would not have had an opportunity really to be in front of the camera if it wasn't for platforms that give us the opportunity to do our work how we want to do it. And so now that we have this opportunity to enhance the narrative and provide more content to the narrative by having these social media platforms, I think that we should be good stewards over it and good stewards over our opportunity to speak to our people and let individuals know that what you want matters. We don't have to accept the big media news organizations shoving content and shoving gossip and lies about who we are down our throat. Um, and I say lies about who we are because it doesn't tell the whole story. A lot of the news does not tell the whole story about Black people in particular. You know, you get the news organizations that highlight bad behaviors of all people. Like what you see on television is not how you see Black people depicted on television. It is not just how not just Black people. It's a lot of nationalities of people. And that's one thing that I believe many people have gotten to see with the reality shows, that we all messed up. So anyway, that's my spill on that. That's my take on entertainment news. I think that we should start seeing it as an opportunity to tell the stories of the people who really, really love the craft and are really artistic. And there's some publications, I'll say that there's some publications that stick to the integrity of reporting when it comes to entertainment news. And I can appreciate that. I'm not going to call anybody out, but they're definitely out there. But I think that it's time to begin to lay that to rest. Celebrity news, gossip news, enough. Enough is enough. I want to know real people. I want to know the people behind it. I want to highlight us, highlight our people and what we do and what we have contributed to this society through a lot of platforms, different platforms in entertainment. So that leads me to share my love for the wonderful, the great, the legendary, the awesome, the amazing, talented, wonderful. How many adjectives can I come up with? Paul Mooney, who had a heart attack. I believe it was yesterday, which was May 19th. I'll confirm that. But I will have to say that Paul Mooney's legacy means so much to entertainment. It means so much to the world of comedy. And I believe that it means so much because he was so raw and authentic. And it is just something that we do not get from people many people in the entertainment business, and now many people that are on the platforms for digital news that are on the platforms like YouTube and Facebook Watch and things like that. Apple TV, people who have their own shows and podcasts, they've adopted this way of being that's not really naturally who they are. And that is one thing that I appreciate about Paul Mooney. And I was just saying to my mother yesterday, it's funny how a lot of people didn't care for Paul Mooney's raw approach to the things that he said in his comedy, but they loved the people that he wrote for. They loved the work that he did, and it's historic. Actually, his contribution to film, his contribution to comedy, and like shows like, for example, shows like In Living Color, all of his work that we have seen over the years, and many of us didn't know that it was Paul Mooney. So, my first introduction to the wonderful, the great, the awesome, the amazing, the talented, the raw, the authentic Paul Mooney was in Bamboozled. Now, when I had heard of Paul Mooney over the years, and I had known that he was a part of the comedy industry, but I learned about who he was when I saw a clip, when I saw a part of the movie Bamboozled by Spike Lee. So he played Junebug, who is the father of the main character in the movie Bamboozled. And I'll share a clip with it in the package that I have that I'm putting together. But when I saw his character and when I saw how he handled it, I was like, this isn't, well, maybe he's acting, but what he was saying was like a monologue. And it was very, very, very captivating because it was so true and it was so authentic and it felt real. It didn't feel like when I was watching the movie that I was watching someone playing a character. I felt as though I was listening to someone who really had a lot of history behind them, who was really putting somebody on to what um, the industry was like and how the industry treats Black people. So here's my package, and I hope you all enjoy it. I give a little history with on the background of Paul Mooney, and I'll share that clip from Bamboozled with you. So until next week, enjoy the clip, enjoy the package, but until next week, I'll see you with some more news and some more commentary about health disparities, about all the stuff that we talk about, mental health. So you'll see me again next week. Peace.
Paul Gladney, born August 14th, 1941, better known by the stage name Paul Mooney. He was an American comedian, writer, social critic, and actor, best known as a writer for comedian Richard Pryor and his collaborations with other artists like Red Fox, Eddie Murphy, and Dave Chappelle. The wonderful comedic legend was born in Shreveport, Louisiana, later moving to Oakland, California. He was primarily raised by his grandmother, Aimee Ely, known among family as Mama. Gladney coined the nickname Mooney after the original Scarface movie actor Paul Mooney. While living in California, he became a ringmaster with the Gaddy Charles Circus. During his time as a ringmaster, he found himself writing comedy and telling jokes, and later landed a job as a professional writer with Richard Pryor. He wrote for Richard Pryor for his appearances on Saturday Night Live, and he co-wrote material for Live on the Sunset Strip, Bicentennial Nigger, and Is It Something I Said albums, and Pryor's film JoJo Dancer, which is just a favorite, Your Life in Colin, and as the head writer for the Richard Pryor Show.
He gave young comics such as Robert Williams, Sandra Bayard, Marsha Warfield, John Witherspoon, and Tim Reed their first break into the business. Oh my God. But if you're a 90s kid like me, you remember In Living Color. And Paul Mooney was the one who wrote our favorite character script for Homie D. Clown. Homie the Clown, don't mess around. He later went on to work with Spike Lee in the movie Bamboozled, which I'm sharing one of his clips at the end of this segment. So just stay tuned a little while longer. And you'll be able to see that wonderful clip where he showed his ability to just act. But in 2007, he released his first memoir, Black is the New White. And that was just a wonderful book. If you haven't had the opportunity to read his book, go ahead and do so. He had also got involved in the social issues and things like that. And eventually, he said that he will stop using the N-word with Jesse Jackson and Maxine Waters. As you can see in the picture, in 2014, his brother did announce that he had prostate cancer, but it didn't stop Paul Mooney. He continued to tour and perform and do stand-up comedy acts and give us such rich history and what we can look at now to attest to his genius and his spectacular writing skills and his comedic genius. So I want to share a clip from Bamboozled that I thought was just a phenomenal performance. So here it is. Take a moment.